If you're unemployed, you probably already received your final $600 unemployment check under the National CARES Act. While Congress debates a new act that could include less money, Fox 55's Jeremy Masukovich talked to local job experts about the impact it could have on our region.
We really didn't know how all of this was going to be playing out. I think many of us were hoping that by July, the economy would have recovered.
Rachel Blakeman with Purdue Fort Wayne University says some people may have put off looking for new employment during the pandemic.
There is a possibility that the way that this payment was structured, that people could earn more on unemployment than they would have earned in a regular paycheck.
Because the supplemental unemployment pay, part of the CARES Act coronavirus relief, was enough to get by.
We look at it from why this was implemented. Part of it is to keep the economy flowing. People were buying groceries with this money. People were paying rent. People were making car payments.
Both Blakeman and Rick Ferrant with Northeast Indiana Works say the extra $600 a week served well as a temporary solution. However, most recipients won't have any of those funds to fall back on.
I would never want to minimize the benefit of the extra $600 for people, but it's also worth noting that employers in Northeast Indiana have begun hiring again in a big way.
As part of the CARES Act, Northeast Indiana Works recently received a grant worth $2.1 million towards workforce development training.
A lot of this is short-term training. We're not talking about years here. We're talking about getting into a program that's for a matter of weeks can give them certifications or skills that will give them well-paying jobs.
Ferrant says the funding couldn't have come at a better time.
We've had a flood of employers posting jobs in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
He says not only are more jobs available, there's also an easier path to achieve the skills to land employment. Ferrant says getting the skills now will provide financial stability for people moving forward should the pandemic continue longer than expected.
Should this pandemic last for a long time, which it may, people can put themselves in a position where maybe they have a little more job security than they had the last time around.
In Fort Wayne, Jeremy Masukovich, Fox 55 News.
Ferrant says the $2.1 million in CARES Act funds must be spent to develop the workforce in Northeast Indiana by the end of 2020. To learn how both employers and unemployed people looking for work can get involved, click on this story at WFFT.com.